If you're a lady shopping for glasses in 2021 and you want frames which are well made, stylish, easy to wear and come with a nice logo, the Gucci Eyewear collection is definitely for you. So in this video, I'm going to be showcasing some of the best pieces from the ladies section of the Gucci Eyewear collection, some of the best shapes and colours, and giving you a bit of advice on which ones to choose depending on your personality. Now, we already did a video as an overview of the Gucci Eyewear design philosophies and key design principles. So if you've not seen that, check that out first. But the styles that I'm going to be showing you today, none of those, with the exception of one, were featured in the previous video, so this is all new. So hi, I'm Robert, Style and Vision Consultant here at the Spectacle Factory, and I love pairing people with their perfect eyewear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the ones which are more safe style, and we're going to gradually build up on that until we get to the most brave, most fashionable, but maybe more difficult to wear pieces. So that leads me nicely into this frame. Now, I personally think these are a little bit boring, but I say that as an optician who sees glasses all day, every day. And I've got to be very aware in my job that it's not about what I think, it's about what the client wants. And what a lot of people want from the glasses are frames which are not too outgoing, but quite classic, quite simplistic and stylish, and glasses which they feel suit them. And if that's what you want from your eyewear, this model is absolutely perfect because the shape is very simplistic, but still feminine. The logo detail is very subtle, yet classy. And the sizing is very modern, yet understated. So this is a really safe option to choose if you just want a very nice pair of glasses that don't really shout. Now, if you want to be a little bit braver, we could look at the burgundy colour, which I think is a little bit more unique than the classic black. But at the same time, it's probably a slightly older look. And I think if you want in a younger style, I would probably lean towards the black. But both these models feature the B emblem in the corners, and I do like how they've faded the colour towards the end, although to be fair, that detail's probably going to be hidden by your hair. And moving on, this is the only piece in this video which I did showcase in the earlier video. And the reason why I brought it back is because of this lovely, very light Havana. Now, a lot of fairer complexions struggle with darker, especially thicker glasses. And now this is quite a chunky frame, but because of the light colouring, it is going to suit a fairer complexion really well. That's one of the reasons that I like it. Again, the logo is relatively discreet. This is just a touch bigger than the last pair that I showed you. I do think that double G logo is quite classy compared to a lot of other designer logos that you see on glasses. That's just my personal opinion. There's not much more to say about it other than that. It's a very mainstream kind of frame, and I can imagine this one being one of the most popular. In fact, since the last video we filmed, we actually sold out of this frame. But we've got more coming in stock very soon. Now we start to get a bit more interesting, and the next ones we're going to look at are a little bit more modern and a little bit more on trend. Round glasses are one of the, I can't even say big trends anymore, because I would say glasses now, there's been a transition where round glasses are more popular than rectangular glasses. But a lot of people still don't feel confident moving from a rectangular shape to a rounder shape. Now this is a great way to do it because it's not too rounded, but it's just rounded in the right areas. And what I mean by that is the corners, for example, are a lot softer than you would find on a rectangular frame, and the way that it dips at the bridge here as well. The bridge is kind of a medium size, so this is going to fit a lot of different nose widths, as opposed to this model, which we're going to come to shortly, which has a much tighter fit on the bridge. And one of the big trends from last year that's definitely followed through into this year is thinner arms compared with the more chunky arms that we've seen in the past. So what we see now is a lot of acetate frames which pair a thick, bold front with a very thin arm. So this is a great example of that. It's actually the only one within the Gucci collection that does that, ironically. But certainly in other ranges like Jimmy Choo, for example, we've seen a lot of that, Chopard. A lot of the designer brands are doing that contrast with a thinner arm and a slightly thicker front. And as for that arm, it features some really intricate details, which is a lovely finish. The second colour that I've picked out with this model is, I would say, a brown. It's quite a unique colour actually. Maybe there's a hint of red to it, so maybe it's a reddy brown. But this is just a little bit softer and lighter than the black, although I would say that the black has the better contrast between the arm and the front, personally. Now, we know that the head designer for Gucci is a maximalist. He likes clothing to be very over the top and really make a statement. This does that fantastically well, particularly in this colour, which I think is gorgeous. I think it's a beautiful red. It's a very deep red, almost like a kind of lipstick colour. And I think it's gorgeous all the way through, from the thicker arms, which have that quilting effect, which we've seen on some of the sunglasses, to the front, which is a cat's eye, but with a really interesting squared off edge in the corners, which you don't often see with cat's eye frames. Usually they keep on tapering to a fine point. That's quite a unique approach to a cat's eye frame, and I think they've done a great job with this model. Now, although I love that beautiful red, a lot of people want glasses which are going to go with any outfit, and in which case I would lean more towards the tortoiseshell option. Next up, and it continues to get better and better, I love these semi-transparent colours that we see on this model. It makes them a lot softer, lighter, more summery on the face, and it's also a lot more on trend to have styles in that kind of colouring. This is my personal favourite interpretation of the Gucci branding on the arm, where it's actually inlaid into the metal core of the temple, but then the acetate which surrounds that metal core is cut out in a certain point to reveal the logo. I think it's a really nice, interesting, and very precise way of doing that. The pink is obviously a touch more feminine, and this caramel brown is going to be probably the more popular option for most people, but I do particularly love that pink. And I think this shape is absolutely bang on in terms of the size, the proportions. One of the biggest that we've looked at, it probably is the biggest that we've looked at so far, but that really lends itself to a fashionable look in 2021. It's rounded with a hint of a cat's eye as well. A lot of the things that you want to be looking for in a pair of glasses, you'll find in these frames. Now, I've left the best till last, because to me, these two pieces and these two colours are absolutely wonderful, and are a level above what I would normally see from your so-called designer brands. You see, I'm a huge advocate for independent eyewear brands, companies that just make glasses and nothing else. And that often steers me away from the typical designer frames, that you might have heard of, the big names that you see in clothing. But every so often, and it's very rare, a quote-unquote designer brand will come out with something that is every bit as good as a lot of the independent styles that I see. And these are a perfect example. And this is really going to frame your eyes in a very stark, but beautiful and very on-trend way. Quite a unique version of a cat's eye in the way that it dips down quite heavily at the bridge, which I think is just so cool. And even more so in this semi-transparent wine colour. I think that's, if anything, even better than the black. That shape is just extraordinary, it's awesome. Now, a lot of ladies have been asking me recently for oversized, chunky square frames. And like I said, this is just a really popular look at the moment. Glasses which are really bold, very defined. I've not seen many better takes on it than this model from Gucci. And if you want an even more luxurious vibe, you can pair that really bold front in the colorway of black and cream. So I hope you have enjoyed this journey through the ladies section of the Gucci eyewear collection. And I hope I've conveyed to you what kind of look, what kind of personality you get from each of these styles, and whether that personality is right for you, because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. But if you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed this video, if you've taken anything from it, give us a like and subscribe to the channel, because it really helps us grow. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye bye.